should probably bring this over here. Oh, look at that. A microphone appears. There we go. Good morning, Internet. Shall we do the thing? We shall. We shall do the thing. The thing will be done momentarily. Ahoy, Digipunk. Ahoy. Ahoy. Checking the tab to make sure that this is alive. Live. Yes, coming to you from the secret lair in Austin, Texas. I'm not Dan. Welcome to Office Hours. We're going to do a little stream. We're going to do a couple of pull requests. We're going to get this bad boy off the ground, update the payload style guide, and start rewarding some awesome payload contributors. Something that I've been meaning to do, but I wanted to share it with you. So good morning. Hello from Central Time. It's about 9 a.m. So it's early Pacific, early-ish Eastern. I don't know where you guys are. Digipunk, where are you, bro? It's good to see all your faces. So we're streaming on my personal YouTube because I don't want to annoy everybody in the Hak5 universe. This is just kind of a laissez-faire stream, as it were, as well as on the Twitch. And if I periscoped my Periscope correctly, which first time I'm doing that one, we will be live there. And judging by Vault's comment, it seems like we might indeed be. Wow, never periscoped before. First time for everything. All right, well, hello, good morning. It's nice to see you guys. Shadowmaster666, it's awesome to know I got a friend in the Central Time Zone. We got a couple of things happy here. What do we have? We've got, well, first of all, we got a Windows VM. No, but we've got, I mean, right? Is that a view or what? I miss the van. Let me just say, that was one of the most fulfilling experiences ever. I'm taking a slight respite from the van life, as it were, as the Peanut's in the shop. Peanut's got a problem. The Peanut's transmission is not happy. Actually, very many vlog episodes that have been recorded that have not been published. And I wish that I could speak about why, but the reason I've been silent on that front will soon be over with, and then I will be free to speak as I may about all the adventures of the road. I am up early, Nicholas. It is good to see you. So yeah, this is kind of nice because I got the little unified chat here. So, oh, St. Louis. Dude, I can't wait to get out there. St. Louis is actually where Patrick Norton relocated after the Bay Area, when the whole Hak5 universe was like, you know, gravitationally pulled to the molten core of Silicon Valley. And then, like the Big Bang, right before COVID, in fact, we all just spread out to our little corners of the universe. Shannon's in Denver, Patrick's in St. Louis, Justin Robert Young is in Austin, which makes it kind of nice to be here. I lucked out. Pulled in with a broken transmission, had an apartment the second day I was here. So, yeah, good to be here. All right, well, let's get started. This is something that I've been meaning to do for a while. And, you know, I'm just going to go ahead and mute my phone before things get wild. And actually, you know what? I'm just going to let the folks know that they can join if they would like. Anyone is welcome. Anyone at all. Twitch. Yes. Oh. what we're going to do. We're going to add, boom, and I know, exciting television, folks. Darren sends text messages in windows that you can't see. Haha. All right. Well, with that said, you haven't missed much so far, Syndrome. And willkommen und wie geht's? Was los? Gonna have to turn those off. Hang on, got to turn that off so that I can real quick make sure that I don't dox myself. Yes. Oh, well, thank you, Mark. I could definitely use a mod. We will see. We will see indeed. In fact, Mark, you're welcome on here. We're going to do some pull requests. Remember that thing we were talking about yesterday about putting together a nice, new, happy payload style guide? Well, we're doing just that. And I believe, just the ticket. So anybody just tuning in, I'm just doing office hours. I'm taking questions. I'm checking out some pull requests. We're gonna play with some payloads. We're gonna update the style guide, and that is pretty much it for today. Oh, that is the topic. Now we all know. Now we're all on the same page. Oh, and it seems like a magical Mark will be joining us later, as he's gonna join the stream after his shower, which is good because I wouldn't want a stinky Mark in the stream. That'd be no good. All right. So what do we do first? Do we jump into a payload or do we do the style guide? I feel like if we jump into the payload, we'll have kind of an idea of what to do on the style guide wise, because this has been a wild style guide. It needs some love, but let's go ahead and get into our first payload. And to answer Shadowmaster 666's question, not necessarily a gag order. Didn't take the van to Area 51, but one of those things where it would behoove me to keep some things to myself that unfortunately relate to some stuff that are recorded, and so I got to wait for a legal thing to pass before I can publish the episode, which is the first time I've ever had that experience, but it'll be fun. So good to see you all. And just letting y'all know, I'm multi-streaming. So if you're checking out that chat and you're like, where is that guy? Different platforms. How wonderful is that? Okay. So to the style guide. Actually, to the first payload. Actually, hey, check that out. We're on the cover of we're on a magazine. I just heard about this on Discord. This is pretty cool. So is the magazine called Off Grid? So the magazine, I believe, is called Off Grid, and the cover of the the cover of the magazine, cybersecurity product, some protect your privacy online, and they got a bunch of goodies. And I spy a little Hak5 field kit action. Looks like I got a Wi-Fi pineapple. Is that a Ubiquity on number 14? Let's see. 14. 11, 13. Where's 14? I didn't even see. It must be on the other page. No, that is kind of cool though to see it in Hak5. Oh, and a little Ubertooth one. And it looks like they did the Kismet case mod. So that's kind of cool. Who would have ever thought Who would have ever thought that like hacker gear would end up in the same, mixings as like guns and knives and cool watches, chronographs and stuff? Like, man, did hacking get mainstream or what? So that's kind of fun. Thanks for sending that by, Mark. All right. Here's a new payload. It's AT&T. Let's see what it does. I got my Windows test box here so we can have some fun with it. So AT&T is a new payload by 903. It's multiple stages, it looks like here. We got a couple of PowerShell scripts. In fact, we got 3 PowerShell scripts and then a payload TXT. That's interesting. Why do we have so many PowerShell scripts? All right, well, let's get right into it. Let me see if I can make this a little easier for everybody else. All right. Persistent NT Authority System Implant. Ooh, already it sounds really good. Uses Windows Ease of Access technology from here to persistently run code with NT Authority System rights. Oh, wow. You had me at Authority 903. Way to go, 903. Oh, and you put your Twitter. Oh, I really appreciate that. By the way, this is why I'm doing the payloads first instead of doing the style guide first, because in doing the payloads, I can follow the theme that people have been using. At the end of the day, all I really care is that all payloads kind of begin with a title, description, and author. And mainly that's so that we can credit them, and so that when we showcase these, that that we know the name of the payload. And in this case, persistent NT Authority System Implant. That's good stuff. But it hadn't even occurred to me. Twitter, of course we want to see your Twitter handle, because I want to shout you out and I want to hook you up with some rewards, which is exactly what we're going to be doing here soon. Twitter.com. Bugbot4. Well, hello, Bugbot4. Here's a follow. All right. Excited to check out your payload. Mm-hmm. Okay, well, let's see. What does it do? Execution, it uses attack modes, hid and storage, and a couple of different stages here. First one is just kind of generally setting things up. And then we run a hidden elevated PowerShell window that creates an AT. All right, and then the second stage is trigger the newly created AT. Okay, then the third stage will update the newly created AT to run the final stage. Why does it have to update it? So it creates a new one, but then it has to trigger it and update it? All right. There's probably some magic to this. And then optionally, trigger an updated AT to run the final stage. And then finally, a cleanup, of course, remove the generated files. Always important to have yourself a cleanup in your payload so that you can run it multiple times and it's not like writing files everywhere. And then finish. I love to end a payload with LED finish, so you get that green flashing and know it's good to unplug. Also, this is a perfect example as I'm building out the style guide. Look at this. 903 even puts in options. It's so clear and easy to see. These are the options. Run final stage equals true. I'm sure you could set that to false. That's kind of nice. That's really nice. I appreciate that attention to detail. Final stage configured from included final stage PS1 script. Setting this to false will instead trigger the final stage when the user switches to a secure desktop. Okay, well, we'll find out what that is as we go. So first thing first, LED setup. get the switch position so that we know where all of the other stages are. And then from the perspective of the bash bunny, we're going to CD over to our U disk and the payloads, and then CD into switch position. I guess that could all have been on one line, but it doesn't matter. And then we're going to do a little sed action. We're going to change stage 2.ps1 to change the word switch to whatever the switch position directory is. So when we get stage 2.ps1, we'll see that. And then do the same thing with final stage. And we're going to replace that with final stage. All right. And then we'll do attack mode hidden storage. Okay, here we go. Run elevated PowerShell window. Runs elevated PowerShell window, which executes stage 2.ps1. All right. Put our LED into stage 1, so one little blinky blink, so we see what's going on. GUI R. I always like to just kind of simulate. Let's get this guy a little bigger. Display settings. What res are we at? Oh, 1080p. Huh. Okay. Let's. Does this work? Can we keep it at 1080p? Nope. Nope, now it's 3006 by 1848. You know, guys, that all resolution 3006 1848. Man, come on, 1080p. And can we double it up? Advanced scaling. I just want to like duplicate. Yeah, 200% already. Okay, fine. Y'all are just gonna have to deal because I don't remember how to double this up in VMware Fusion. So if anybody else does, oh, well, we could magnifier it. Yikes. That's one way. If anybody happens to know how to get your VMware Fusion guy, your box to get all big and stuff so you can see it a little more easily on the screen on this little stream, that would be handy, but not necessary. Okay, so GUI R. Then what do we do? Quack string, PowerShell, boop, boop, badoop. Okay, I see what's happening here. So we are going to do, it is going to find the volume that's labeled bash bunny, and then it's going to append to that /payloads, and then this is escaped /, or actually this is an escaped $, switch position 2, which is going to translate to, or switch position, which is going to translate to whatever the thing is. And is it just 2? Oh, because he renames stage 2.ps1 to literally 2. That's cool. I mean, it definitely makes it smaller, makes it fit in the run line. This run dialog here, 280 characters. So you definitely want to reduce as much as possible. In fact, on my Bash Bunny, I typically rename the volume from Bash Bunny to like the letter B, much smaller. There's probably not a drive on the system called the letter B. Got to install the guest editions. All right, well, thanks for that tip. Well, I will give that a try a little later. Thank you, Koala V2. Hey, Healthy Addict. It is good to see you. It is good to be streaming. We're checking out some payloads. All right, so after we put that in the run dialog, we're going to, why are we delaying? We just typed. We can just hit enter, but we're delaying anyway. You know, it's only 200 milliseconds. It ain't gonna slow us down that much. Control Shift Enter. Gotta love a Control Shift Enter. GUI R, CMD, Control Shift Enter. Oh, come on. I'm Mac and I'm trying to pass through special characters. There we go. That's what you're going to get. You're going to get the old UAC and then left arrow enter. So this delay right here between Control Shift Enter and left arrow, that's totally necessary because it's going to take 750 milliseconds for that dialog to pop up, or even longer for it to pop up. It is early. It's 9 a.m. Central Time. I've been up since 5:30. This is my second cup of coffee. I'm hoping for a third here soon. But yeah, maybe I'll start streaming at 6. No one will watch. It'll be wonderful. I hope no one's watching, by the way, because I'm just effing around. And then we're going to bypass UAC with this amazing trick called you hit the left arrow and then enter. The other way to do it, I like to do, is you hold down Alt and hit Y, because that's always going to be yes. I am not positive that is going to work in every language. I imagine most languages Y is yes, or I guess, no, in French it would be C, and in German it would be ja. So would that be like Alt J? Oh, maybe there's a reason we don't Alt Y. It's so Americanized of me. Nice. Second cup high fives. Oh man, I'm so excited to possibly stream with some birds. Maybe we'll stream with some birds. We'll see. I don't know. It depends. I'll have to ask. But in any event, I'm sure they would love to get hacked. All right. Bugbot, you're in here. I'm reviewing your payload. Oh, this is fantastic. Hang on. We're turning on the chat. Bugbot, feel free to chime in as we go. And I'm stoked that you're here because I'm checking out your payload and I'm drawing inspiration from it actually as we update our style guide and our whole reward system. Spoiler alert, you're getting a Hak5 reward, obviously. You, in fact, may just be a payload hero, but yeah. Oh, in Swedish, it's ja too. Thank you, Koala. Okay. Alt J is a band. It is. It is also how you bypass UAC in German and in Sweden, in Swedish. So, okay, left arrow enter makes more sense because Microsoft defaults to no. So if you were to just like hit spacebar, it wouldn't accidentally like UAC bypass. So left enter, yes. Hooray, we are now elevated. Okay, cool. Trigger the newly created AT. Okay, ATs are triggered by a desktop switch. Secured desktops switch ATs as NT authority system. Okay, the AT gets, are we talking about like AT like the scheduler, like the AT command? The AT gets executed as stage3.ps1. Thanks. I do love how well commented this is. This is like perfect example of a payload. So I think it's perfect that it's our style guide example. All right. Well, definitely love the way that each stage is commented. Okay, so stage 2. Now that we've got a PowerShell open, actually, now that we've got stage 2 open, what does stage 2 do? Stage 2 is going to hit Control Delete and then escape. Wow, I'm going to have to run this payload to understand it. So let's come down to, what's this file again? Stage2.ps1. Okay. Stage2.ps1. What do we do here? Well, we're changing some HKey current user values in the Windows registry. I don't think I've ever seen that. Create AT. Wow. You know, Bugbot, I gotta say, I'm not familiar with this PowerShell. If you want to explain it to me, I would love to know. So there's a VBS that creates a shell script that runs. I love this, that it runs who am I to see if it not equals system NT authority system. Okay. And so if it isn't the system, then it exits. Otherwise, I'm assuming it continues to run something off the Bash Bunny and it runs 3, which is our next stage, and then closes the window. All right. I'm not even sure. I haven't used MSHTA. Wow. Part of me just wants to blindly run this. Part of me wants to just know more. All right. Well, maybe I should just read the manual. Ease of access, assistive technology, registration. Okay. How to register an accessibility application. Oh my God, are we registering a new application? An ease of access control panel is application for Microsoft Windows, brings together functionality for accessibility and ease of use. By using the Ease of Access Center, you can configure their computer to suit the physical. Okay, so this is like if you're blind or you just need some assistance. In fact, funnily enough, it was as I was trying to increase the font or whatever, increase the size of this Windows box here, I hit the keystroke for magnifier earlier. That's literally an ease of access technology. So we've got our narrator, our on-screen keyboard, and the magnifier. Oh, so they must run with system privileges because obviously they need to be able to do all of this really cool stuff. So you can register an application as you can make a new one, ATEXE. Here we go. The name of the application, executable file or image. Windows uses this value to determine whether the accessibility image is running. Okay. Well, this is wonderful. Hey, BugBot, I'm gonna send you a DM. You don't have to. I don't know your situation, but here you go. One sec. Okay. I don't know why it converts it into a pretty URL, but whatever. I think it will work regardless. And no, Oh my gosh. Okay, that's exciting. BugBot or 903, as it were, for this payload, may indeed be joining the stream. That's awesome. What a wonderful way to understand this payload than to hear from the developer themselves. This is very exciting. Where's the other chat? Okay, so FYI, we're multi-streaming here. So Periscope, Twitch, and my personal YouTube. So if you're new here and if you're seeing some chats in the overlay that you're not familiar with, that's why. So this platform pulls them all together and collates them. This is exciting. So we're creating a new accessibility application. So what is that application going to be? It's, I believe, going to be 3, which up above here in our initial stage, we set that to stage 3.ps1. So to find out what it does, we're going to go there and check that out. But before we even get to 3, well, okay, let's take a look at 3. Yeah, 3. Stage 3 to PS1 renames to 3. Okay, this is all right. So this is the one, and what does it do? It creates a new item property. It's a string for our payload. The final stage is to run a new orphan PowerShell process. It prevents it from closing when the secure desktop closes. Let the bash bunny know we're all done. Oh, I love that what do we create a file? All right, we specify the BB and then, yep, new item, new file. We create a file, eject. Are we creating a new file called eject? And then it probably waits for that file so the bash bunny knows that the payload is done. Oh my gosh, brilliant. Okay. ATs are triggered by a desktop. Switch. Okay, so in order to trigger it, secure desktop launch, ATs as the authority, and the AT gets, okay. So all we have to do is hit Control Delete, and then we hit escape. All right. So now we're at, well, wait a second. Control Delete on Windows doesn't do what it used to do. We're going to close that for a second. What does it do on Windows 10 now? We're going to send Control Delete. Virtual machine. Send keys. Control Delete. Yeah, we get this. We don't get logged out. It just gives us this. And then we escape out of it. Okay, so then we hit escape. We're back to our desktop. So why does that trigger it? Interesting. All right. Then our third stage, write the contents of the final stage into the security hive, which is only readable as a NT authority system, and then updates the newly created AT to read and execute the final stage from the security hive. That is fantastic. All right, hang on. It's not letting me join through my phone. Oh, that's... Cool. All right. Well, it looks like 0 of 9 or 009 or 029. I don't know what the O is. Bugbot, our payload author, is going to be joining us at a later date when they've got better internet, and that's exciting. But in the meantime, so Bugbot tells us that the control at delete screen is a secure desktop, thus launching the AT with system rights. Holy crap. So that invokes a completely new secure desktop. The lock screen or the UAC screens are also secure desktops. Oh, so instead of hitting Control Alt Delete and then escape, we could have done another like GUI-R, literally anything, Control Shift Enter, and then this right here is considered a secure desktop, which launches that. That is brilliant. Yes, holy crap! You could do anything once you're NT authority system. You got to be kidding me. That is awesome. Wow. Okay, and then, yep, LED stage 3. So we're glancing at our blinking LED, and we know what it's doing, and it's going to do until it sees the word done, and it's going to sleep for, wow, quickly. Every 200 milliseconds, it's going to check to see if there's a file on the UDisk called done. And so once we see that file done, which runs at the third stage in our PowerShell, no! Wonderful. My camera just died. One sec. I'm learning something new about my camera. Oh, wow. That is very unhappy. You gotta be kidding me. Okay, cool. That's a fun midstream. That's a fun one. All right, are we back? Yes, we are. Cool. So, don't put your Canon EOS M6 in movie mode while you're streaming, hoping to get a 16:9 aspect ratio, because one, you won't, and two, it's going to try to power itself off. And I can actually tell you why it does that. And it has nothing to do with overheating. It actually has to do with export control. And see what it is. And this is now like, we're totally off, you know, we're not talking payloads for a second. But I find this fascinating. If you've ever had a DSLR that will stop recording after like 20 minutes or so, or once the file reaches 2 gigabytes, or in this case, my camera literally tried to turn off, it's because this has a HSTS code, which is a harmonized tariff system that the entire world uses, that describes what the device is, what the product is. There's literally one for everything on the planet, from, you know, textiles to literally, you know, USB rubber duckies have one. Everything has one, because it has to be classified. Livestock, I mean, we're talking everything. A cow has a number, so that when things are imported and exported in various different countries, that customs officials don't have to read the description on the export paperwork and try to make a determination of how much to charge their taxes and duties. So if you've ever imported Hak5 gear into Europe or something, and you've had to pay duties. I'm sorry, those aren't, I don't get to see any of that money. Your government does, and that's outside of our control. But it's because they charge a different rate based on what that product is. And so those rates vary by product and vary by country. And so as most of our modern DSLR cameras, which obviously I'm using this because it's got like an incredible depth of field, an EOS M6 from Canon, it turns itself off every whatever minutes if I'm trying to use it in movie mode, because it is not a camcorder. No, it's a still camera. Even though it is probably the best video camera you can use on the market right now, because you get the interchangeable lenses, you can put a prime lens with a low aperture on there. It doesn't want to be classified as a video camera because video cameras have a higher tariff because they're more expensive, more premium of a good than a digital, or as a still camera. Actually, these HSTS codes don't update that frequently. So a lot of them are like, this was created back when there was like video tape, cassette tapes, and like still film cameras, but they still classify like that. So the manufacturers of, like we're talking your Nikons, your Canons, everybody does this. They artificially GIMP in the firmware of the DSLR camera the video settings so that it can't just continuously record, because if it could, then it might be classified as a video camera, and then the import would be a lot higher. I know that was kind of not what you tuned in for, but one of the fun things that I think it's hacking, learning some of this esoteric weird stuff, like this page, for instance. I don't know if you've ever been to this fun and exciting page on Hak5 called compliance. I know it's the most exciting topic ever, but this is where, Hak5, we have to definitely comply with like all of these crazy government regulations. Like recently, there's all these new ones where basically we have to say like, no, none of our stuff, is made by Huawei and ZTE and stuff, because, shady stuff and all of these other compliances. And go all the way down here. Yeah, here we go. HTSUS. So these are the harmonized codes for all of the different pieces of gear. So USB rubber ducky, if you look up this code, find out, oop, here we go. Sure. This is the export data for basically, oh, actually, this is for somebody else's thing. Let me find the actual database. Other keyboards, basically automatic data processing machines and units thereof, magnetic or optical readers, machines for transcribing data onto data media in encoded forms, and machines for processing such data not elsewhere specified or included. That's a ducky. So there you go. And Martin G, yeah, to answer your question, if you're reflash the firmware, there used to be an amazing, I wonder if it's still around. Used to be an amazing firmware for Canon cameras called Green Lantern, I want to say. And it was a firmware replacement for like Canon Rebels and stuff that added all sorts of new features. It's only artificial that your camera is not acting as a wonderful video camera. So yeah, I guess you could reflash it and then it would have a different HTSUS, but that's going to happen after it's passed customs, and therefore you've paid a different VAT. Anyway, that was totally esoteric and off topic, but we're back. All right, so back to the payload. I really want to test this out. I'm excited to test this out. Let's do that. Well, I happen to have a bunny right here in arming mode. So let's get that going on. I don't know if I'm going to be able to show you live. Actually, you know what? Hang on. Before I just plug this randomly into my box, What does it do though? Because it sits here until it's done. Connect that to my Mac. There we go. It sits here until it's done, and then it runs the final stage, which is to trigger it again by doing Control-Delete and then Escape. And then we remove the file. So we do LED cleanup, we get rid of that done, and then we remove 2 and we remove 3. And the nice thing about that is we're not actually deleting the stage 2 and stage 3.ps1 files. They still stay the same because this sed command, what it's doing is it's in line in stage 2.ps1, changing it, but putting the output into 2. Likewise, stage 3, putting the output into 3. So these still stay the same. So if you were to move this payload to a different switch position, it's going to run. What it eventually does is in the final underscore payload.ps1, which is now why I understand run final stage. Run final stage equals true is to actually execute whatever it is you want. If you set this to false, then it will run when the user eventually hits Control-Delete or hits a UAC prompt. And that's kind of nice because then it won't like instantly execute whatever it is that you want. So final underscore payload.ps1. And this is where we do if final stage is true. There we go. Final stage.ps1. Here we go. That's the top. Ha. The final stage.ps1 is going to do IWR, which I believe is kind of like curl. I don't remember. PowerShell's got such interesting aliases. Let's do PowerShell as system. And it's going to IWR example.com/beacon. I don't know this about example. Hang on. I love example.com. It's one of my favorite. Beacon underscore who am I would probably be system. What does it take you to? Oh, just example.com. Let's paste that and see. Beacon underscore who am I? Well, who am I in PowerShell would be, oh, I see. Whatever your user is, invoke web request. Yeah, I love the aliases. There are so many wonderful aliases, and I love using them to pull a to shrink a payloads that will fit in the run line, and B to that there's so many like ls. You know, it's like, oh, I love that alias. That was not the place to ls. All right. So if you replace example.com with your own domain, then you'll get a get for yes. And then you just set up a listener, and then with your listener, it gets the it just shows that it ran its system. What I love about this is a couple of things. Well, first of all, it's a super novel privilege escalation technique. I did not know this one. I wish Movix were here to weigh in. I wonder if Movix is free. Movix, if you're on the stream, I'd love to see your face. But yeah, what a cool technique. I had no idea about these ATs. And I love how well commented and documented it is. I love how portable it is by, like, you know, the way that the stages get renamed. This is just a banner payload for so many reasons. So well commented, using LED stages. You know, yes, this can be optimized somewhat, but really not much. I mean, like, okay, so I can shave 200 milliseconds off of it. Big deal. Now, this looks robust. So what I will want to do in my payload is I will have it hit a web server. So we'll throw up a listener, and then we'll plug this into a physical Windows box, because I don't know if this is going to work on the VM. We'll see. We'll try it on the VM, but it might just totally fail. So first of all, let's download all of these. Well, hang on. Let me say I've viewed all of this, because this is a nice PR. And is there a quick and easy way to just download all of these? I don't want to have to do this from the command line. Yeah, I mean, a reverse shell is definitely what I would want to do. Yeah, we're going to review those changes. I mean, the change is great. I want to just approve this because I have a good feeling of what it does, and it doesn't look like it RMRFs anybody's hard drive. So that's, there's definitely a disclaimer that we're putting in the new readme.md as we're about to update our payload best practices. But in any event, let me go ahead and say thanks. Oh, is it 109? Gosh, now 903. All right, rewards.hak5.org. And then I'm going to, real quick, hey, Mark, are you still on the stream? We need to give a Hak5 reward to 903, specifically. Oh, why won't you let me open that there? There we go. Hover, open, yep. Okay, yeah, simply GitHub 903. Let me log into our rewards system in another window. You guys can't see this. If you go to rewards.hak5.org, it's going to tell you you're a winner if you're a winner. But if you're not, it won't. Okay. Thank you, Mark. I really appreciate it. I tried to log into the admin and it gave me a reward. So I'm a winner. That's kind of awesome. I want to share that with the world. Unfortunately, that code is legit. So I'm also going to knock that code out. Let me do that as well. Under products and gift cards. Yes. Oh, good. It's fake. Ha. Thank you. I appreciate you doing that. Well, for everybody on the stream that's curious what the Hak5 rewards look like, it's this. This is not a real code, as it were. But you just OAuth yourself with your GitHub that you use to do the pull request, and then boom, you get confetti, and you get whoa, $1,337. Wow, Mark, you really hooked me up. Thanks, man. Is that 1234 1234 1234 live? Are we really giving $1,337 away? I don't think so. As everybody then just goes to actually $1337 just sounds like an awesome hacker variable. But no, I checked and it's not. It's not actually in the system. Cool. I appreciate it. As I now triple check before we lose $1,000. Everybody runs and tries to buy a bunch of t-shirts. Oh gosh, should have not done this live. Pineapples t-shirt, sounds good. Yes, I'll get one of those. Add to cart. Oh gosh, quickly now, Darren. Check out. Gift card, apply. It's not valid. Sweet, okay. All right, well. Yeah, let's, did we do that? Did we finish it? Yes. Please find your payload hero award at, boop. Okay. And let's squash and merge this. Oh, I did not check the one most important. Is this going into the right directory? Oh gosh, I didn't check. I didn't check. All right, files changed. Let's see. Payload library execution. Ah, cool. Yes. Perfect. So bash bunny payloads library, or payloads library execution 28 seconds ago. AT&T. Perfect. I'm going to download all these. I thought there was a quick and easy way to download all of these. Dang it. All right. Do it the old-fashioned way. I'm going to put this in switch position 1. All right. Payloads. Switch 1. I already have a payload in here. What is it? Oh, it's the Bluetooth geofencing profiler payload. That's a fun one. Delete that. And we'll save all of these on our bash bunny. Payloads. Switch 1. I wonder how many times this can run on the target, you know, because it's just going to create a new, it's going to create a new AT. Is the AT always going to have the same name? All right, so new property, it's going to put it under accessibility, AT's AT. It's going to give it the name, start params, and the value of it. Okay, so the name of this is start params, and the value is going to be a VB script, which calls W script shell to run PowerShell if, and what it's going to do is check to see if it's NT authority, and if it's not, it's going to exit, and if it is, it's going to create, I see, this is the staged thing. It's going to create a new one called poll_ant. Okay. And that's going to be our, is that one right here? The one that we renamed to 1? It might be. That's probably what it is. Yeah, it's just going to name it 1. I love that. I love how obfuscated it is. Okay. Well, we're going to try it, but we're definitely going to change our final stage. Oh, gosh. And I love that Finder appended .txt to everything. Yeah, I use PS1. Payload can still be .txt, but that's why we need a little GitHub payload browser that just downloads a zip of them or something. But in any event, cool. Well, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to set up a listener here. And oh, come on. Really? Oh, right. L8080? Yeah, it is. It's just L8080. All right, let's just make sure that that works, and we'll get that get, and then we'll send it to this IP. And I actually don't know the IP of my box, and it's just easier on a Mac to click the thingy and find out that you're 192.168.86.21. So with that listening over here, we get user agent, yada, yada. Great. And I didn't have that persistent, but that's fine. We're only going to do this once. So our final payload is going to pull up come on. Nope. Final stage. Have it do an IWR to http:// 192.168.86 network /beacon underscore plus who am I, which is going to be the user. Let's see what happens when we actually do that from our example box. So I'm going to copy that in. Still got our listener over here. We got our Windows box here. Paste that. Boom. What do we get? I believe it's on the same network. 168.86.21. I really wish this were bigger. I'm sure on the stream this is hard to see. I'm going to just kind of turn the chat overlay off for a bit so we can see a little bigger. And I'll try to, if anybody wants to send me a link or something on kind of just doubling up. No, not personalized displays. My Windows 98 just took over and clicked the last one. The resolution, I want it to stay the same, but I want this to get big. I want like 200%. So that y'all can see 175%. Advanced scaling. Let's set this to like 500%. Not recommended. Wait, enter a custom scaling size between 100 and 500%, and then not recommended. Why even offer it? Okay, this is going to be ridiculous. Custom scale factor won't be applied until you sign out. Okay, that's fine. Sign out. Oh, thanks, Shadow Master 666. I really appreciate. I appreciate Shadow Master 666 for the linky link. And let's see if I can actually get that comment. The funny thing is, the way this works, I can't actually click it. Maybe if I inspect the element, this is ridiculous. Okay. By the way, now we're just doing Inception here, but it's kind of ridiculous that I can show this on screen, but I can't actually click the link. So we're gonna try to get it out of there by inspecting it, and hopefully it's buried in here, but I kind of doubt it. Oh my gosh. It's going to be in here somewhere. No, 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 that is such a pain. Okay, we're going to Google it. Sorry, that was kind of esoteric. Ah, thank you for the bit.ly link. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right. And we'll re-sign in with our single character password. Oops, 500% might have been too much. OS X is my daily driver because I mainly live in Photoshop and Premiere and Illustrator. So, you know, I'm constantly doing these things, right? That's a lot of my life is in here, you know? So if Photoshop, Illustrator, and Premiere literally worked on, what is it called, on Linux as well as it does on a Mac, I would switch in a heartbeat. All right. Wow, VMware Tools is not happy. Okay, we're signing out because we have now completely screwed the pooch. All right, I read it. It said not recommended, and I did it anyway. Yep. Indeed. Indeed. Oh, and you know what? At the end of the day, didn't work anyway. Didn't work anyway. Do we know why? Of course we know why, because VMware Tools was like, yo, dog, don't do that. All right. Let's do it the right way. Where's that bit.ly link? As I randomly take my browser to some malware, slash 3. Window, virtual machine library, settings, display, single window, preferences, stretch, resize. Nope. Display resolution preferences. Okay. All right, I'm pretty sure I know where that is. Don't think we're going to be able to do it while the machine is running, but we'll give it a shot anyway. Display. Single window. Use Fusion. Ah, I see. Stretch. I think it's going to be stretch. It's either stretch or resize. We'll do stretch and see. All right. Now we'll just resize this guy. Hopefully it will. Yes. Perfect. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Shadow Master. Oh my gosh, brilliant. Okay, so we're going to test that listener. We're not storing a snapshot, we're hitting GUI R. This. Come on, paste. Copy. Paste. Don't want to go there. We want to go to 6.21 and IHS. And those are running. This is. Here we go. I always like to test the final stage before we plug in the bunny and go like, it didn't work, because, you know, it's going to work. Not happy. Timed out. Okay. Well, let's do it without the who am I. So let's just do, you know, it could be the slash. Well, no, it would still be like blah, blah, blah. You can still go to, oh, derp. Hey, who knows what went wrong? Colon 8080 slash beacon. Plus who am I command. Close that guy and close that guy. With these superfluouses. And that should do the trick. Not happy. Can we get to anything? Oh, oops, derp. Of course. No, it's all right here. Get beacon underscore and then the name of the machine slash the username. Boom. Dude, that is wicked. I absolutely love this payload because not only is it so well written and so reusable, but the loot that you get if you've set up a listener is like one of the most valuable things that you can get on an engagement. So if you're doing, you know, a security awareness engagement, say you're littering, the conference room with these. In fact, this could be applied to the USB rubber ducky quite easily. In fact, we may do that. We may want to try to adapt this payload so that it does it. So it does this on. Oh my God, it's a one-liner. Okay. If we've got time after the thingy, I might be writing another payload that is inspired. I told you I was going to be inspired by this payload. The reason I love this is because you set up a listener, right? You drop a bunch of ducks that literally do this one-liner, and they send you the who am I. They send you so A, you have a timestamp. B, you have a workstation. C, you have a username. So now you know who plugged what into where, when. And then if you're in IT, it's time to whip out the spaghetti noodles and start lashes because you weren't supposed to plug in that ducky. There you go. That is awesome. But you won't have a username when it says NT Authority. This is true. This is true, BugBot 4. Obviously, you wrote this. It's just going to prove that we do have NT Authority. And honestly, when we've got that, like all bets are off, like game over. Let's go, right? All right, cool. Well, I love this just because I learned how easy it is to just append the who am I to the URL as a get. Hey, Dallas, you listening? Oh my gosh, hang on. I'm totally, let's copy this. I'm totally putting this into a thingy. Come on. Gosh, I love. Okay, we'll come back to that later in dev chat because that is really cool. All right, well, let's now do it. Let's now put this. So now when we test this on our victim, we are going to receive not the username in the desktop. We're going to receive NT Authority. So let's edit our final stage. Let's say that, save it. That's all good. Thank you, Adam. Let's safely eject the Bash Bunny because we're good people. And all right, so do you guys want to watch this fail with me, or do you want to just jump straight to it working? Your choice, guys. You get to make the call. Y'all on the stream have two choices. We can either plug this just directly into the Mac, pass it through to the VM, and watch everything fail. Or I can do it the way you're supposed to do it, which is grab some bare metal, brand new Windows box, barely been touched, and start to have our way with it. I guess as long as it's on the same network. I kind of want to watch it fail. I don't know why. I also need some stickers for this. This is not a hacker machine, clearly. But let me just make sure it's on the network. Whoa. I wish I could show you what's on this machine right now. Its display is totally foobarred. We're going to reboot this machine. All right. Programming note. I'm here in a new apartment as I'm kind of finding my way. And the van life adventures will continue. The peanuts in the shop. The van is getting a new transmission. I can't even imagine what the bill is going to be, although it is under warranty still. I put 35,000 miles on it. It's a 36,000 mile warranty. So we're replacing the transmission before we're out of warranty. In any event, it's been in the shop for weeks now, and I don't expect to see it really anytime soon. So in the meantime, I'm really glad that I've got this place, but I also don't have any of my gear. So if I did, I would have my Blackmagic box, and then I could just pipe directly to the screen, and sadly, I can't do that the way that I want to right now, and I can't bring myself to like drop another $500 on like another Blackmagic because like I have one, it's just in storage. So frustrating. But I may because I'm going to be doing this a little more frequently. All right, so let me just reboot this machine. Well, I guess I don't need to. I just wonder why the display is totally screwed. Actually, maybe it's not screwed and this is just a new function of Windows and it's been so long, but it's almost like there's like how do I describe it? Screen burn, like a vignette. It's been a while since I've used Windows 10, I'll be quite honest. I kind of just use Windows boxes as like victim test machines now that I've gotten out of that Stockholm syndrome relationship that I had with it, because it ran Premiere and Photoshop and Illustrator. But as it turns out, it's true. They run better on a Mac. So and I was like, ooh, a terminal that's Bash, or I guess now ZSH. Yay. So does Windows just do that now? It just puts this weird white vignette around the edges? Or is this machine totally screwed? Oh, well, whatever. Windows key X, U, R. Oh, it's got updates to do. No, I don't want to sit here waiting for updates. Okay, we're just going to deal with whatever its weird thing is. All right. Going to make sure it's on the same network, though. 192.168.86.21.80.80. Hooray, Chrome. Cool. All right, well, we now have that. All right, well, let's go ahead and watch it do the thing. Did we decide if we're going to watch it fail on the VM or if we're going to do it on bare metal first? I'm confident in it working on bare metal. I'm not confident in the pass-through on VMware, but we'll do it anyway. All right, here we go. Let's get our Windows Vixen box all ready to go. Got our listener ready to go. Take our bash money, switch it to payload 1 switch position, and quickly pass it through to the VMware box. Connect to Windows. Oops, I checked never ask me again. I did not mean for that to happen. That's okay. All right. So far, so good. So far, so good. Except we've missed it. We totally missed it. That's okay. Let's actually see. Let's see what's going on. Bash bunny, payloads, switch 1. Oh, hey, it ran because we've got 2 and we've got 3, but payload.txt didn't run. Device is ready. I know why too, and actually there's a fun thing that you can do with prod underscore to make this run more better. So yeah, that part ran. So it did I'm taking a look at it now. 1, 2, 3. So it's blinking 3 times, which means it's in the final stage. And it's sitting here looping, waiting for a file to be called done for it to go ahead and do LED finish. So I can't show you right now. Well, maybe I can. I can kind of show you. There's a mess of stuff on my... You see the blink, blink, blink? I don't know how well it's going to focus on that, but yeah. Blink, blink, blink. That's your 3rd stage. Let's just go ahead and create the file. Well, I create the file done manually, but bummer, 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 bummer. All we have to do is rerun it, but it's not going to do the cleanup until we get to done. And then it's going to remove those files. I guess I can just do it myself. And then it's going to sync the file system, which is also brilliant. Like that's obviously 309 is no noob when it comes to this stuff. So I actually think this might work. Like here, let me just force it by creating a new file called done, new text document. Done. Done.txt. I don't want it to be done.txt. I want it to be done. Oh my gosh. Let's show extensions. Hide extensions. Why would you hide extensions? Come on. We're not noobs. We know how to Windows. Oh, F2. No, not change the brightness on my Mac. F2. Done. Yes. Boop. And now this should go green. Come on. Because there's a file called done. And it checks every 2 milliseconds. So looking for the file done to be in the payloads slash switch one directory, maybe. Could be. Yes. No. Oh, I could have sworn it just checked for a file called done. In udisk. Root udisk done. Yeah. So, all right, actually, I know why. So the file system is not synchronized, and I can't do it now because I'm only in attack mode hidden storage. All right, so fun thing about the bash bunny. Fun thing about file systems. Only one device can have access to a file system at once. Technically, we're abusing that privilege here because the bash bunny and the Windows box see that file system, which is not the way that they're supposed to work. It's some voodoo black magic that doesn't always work, obviously, because it's not the way it's meant to be. If you've got USB mass storage, only one computer could touch it at once. Like try, a USB splitter on a flash drive and plug it into 2 computers. You don't now have just like a shared drive that they can both talk to. It doesn't work like that. And yet, if I serial in, if I haven't done udisk on mount on the bash bunny, then it also has access to, the udisk in /root/udisk. So the thing that will make that file appear is if we sync the file system, but I can't do that because I don't have serial into it. What I can do is eject this now. So let's just move this done file back to the root. Let's eject. And then it should do our LED finish. So let's take a look at this. Yeah, blink, 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 and then we'll eject. Try again. It's not going to do it. Let's do it anyway. Come on. There we go. Green LED. Finish. All right. So now it wrote the file. This should work. This really should, even on this VM. So, it didn't want to write. It didn't want to eject because I still had Notepad open from the file on the bash bunny. Okay, cool. Well, listener's going. Here, let me move this so that we can all see this. Listener, or you know what? I'll just put myself in a little bloop. I'll move myself over to the side. Okay, got our listener. Got our Windows box. Let's plug it in and see. Oh, there it goes. Yep. Oh. Was that it? No, I feel like it didn't run the second stage. I only saw, what stage are we in right now? We are in blink, blink, blink. Okay, we're in the 3rd stage. All right. Okay. Wow. So we only got it to bring up the Control-Alt-Delete menu once. So I think that's why. And the stupid autoplay thing pops up, but it's not interfering. Let's take a look at the payload and see where it died. Bash bunny. Hasn't created the done file. So we must be, where in the payload are we? We're at stage 3. Because it did LED stage 3. So we've done this. Yep, saw that happen. We could also check the registry right now and see. This delay 1000 should have been enough. Stage 2, we got through that. Yep, that was the UAC bypass. This was our control delete. Yep, stage 3, looking for done. And then if final stage is true, it's going to do our final control delete. This is where it messed up. So it's in exactly the same state. It's in exactly the same state that it was when we first demoed it, expecting it to fail. And it's because that done file isn't there. So as soon as that done file is there, it's going to then go and check this to see if final stage equals true, which I believe the default in the payload is yes. And then it's going to go ahead and hit Control Delete. So I can invoke this right now by just hitting Control Delete. And then it cleans up. Man, so the only thing that needs to be fixed in this payload is this until TACF root udisk done. The done file isn't there, the third stage. Okay, so there needs to be another way that the bash bunny can communicate to itself and say, hey, we're done, so that it continues on. Because writing that file, the bash bunny can't see it until the system ejects it. So what we could do right here, so that done file is created by our stage 3 PS1. So stage 3 PS1 could eject the bash bunny flash drive, and that would do it. If stage 3.ps1 were to run, I think the command is eject, if I'm not mistaken, on the label bash bunny, then the file gets written, and then the bash bunny sees it, and it triggers the control delete. Alternatively, we use a different mechanism to tell the bash bunny that it has received the that it's done. All right, you know what? This is a really interesting comment, so let's discuss it. About the done thing, I'm writing a variant as of right now that uses a web server on the bash bunny instead of SMB, or needing to mount udisk to both the target and the bash bunny, which is not a good thing at all, as mentioned. Yeah, so it's not exactly that using udisk is a bad thing. Using udisk is fine, but only one computer can use the udisk at once, either your target, your victim, or the bash bunny. So within the Hak5 universe, we call those the host and the target. So the bash bunny is the host, the target is your victim, is your Windows box you're plugging into. And by default, the bash bunny will always have access to its udisk. It doesn't manually unmount it when you do attack mode storage. And so that's something that we could do by just adding it to the payload. We could do udisk unmount. In fact, here, let's dive a little deeper in. I'm going to go ahead and we actually have this payload running. If I hit Control Delete on this VM, we're going to get it. I believe we're going to get it because it's just the done that's hanging it up. So let's proof of concept that. Virtual machine, send Control Delete. I really want to see this thing go. Want to see this go. So I've just got it in arming mode because we're going to proof of concept something, but let's go ahead and send a Control Delete. Boom, which should run the AT, which should run the final stage. No, it's not going to, because the final stage is in the switch position, and now I've unplugged the bash bunny and I ruined everything. I ruined everything, guys. So sorry. But the reason I wanted to do this was because I want to pull up. Oh, I don't even have Putty on here. Okay, let's grab Putty. I don't even have Chrome. I don't have anything on this victim Windows box. Grab Putty. Because I want to go ahead and get a, oh gosh, what is it called? I want to get a terminal on our Bash Bunny. Download. I just want the executable. Yep. Yeah, let's open it. There we go. Serial. COM1. I'm guessing. I think it's COM1. 115200. We'll see if it's COM1. It's not COM1. I just want to close the session. New session. Actually, that's not the way to do it. You go to serial. Oh, COM2. You know, we're going to open Device Manager and actually find out what it is. Bash Bunny is in arming mode, which means we should have a serial device. COM3. We would have gotten out on the third try. COM3, 115200 baud rate, open. Come on. Serial. COM3, 115200. We'll call that Bash Bunny. Save it. Cool. Open. Aha. Root. Hak5 Bunny. All right. So here we are in arming mode, which actually is attack mode serial storage. Very similar to the attack mode that we were using in that payload, which was attack mode hid storage. And you'll notice under my computer, I'm sorry, this PC, it was always very confusing saying click on my computer. No, not my computer, you're my computer. But yeah, so we've got our E drive, so we've got storage. And as you can see, I can see this whole directory, right? But on the Bash Bunny, if I pwd, I'm in /root. And if I ls, we have udisk. So cd udisk, ls, nothing is there. Oh, this is how we can do it. We can bastardize this. We can run one command that I don't recommend, but we can at least in one command make this payload work. Udisk mount. So if you run the udisk command, you get a couple options. You can mount, unmount, remount, and format. On the Bash Bunny Mark II, your udisk can also be your SD card. That's another story. We'll get into that another time. But yeah, basically, if I touch done, like Martin G just mentioned in chat, that essentially we could get the payload to continue. One thing that I like doing while proof of concepting payloads is I'll always throw in a serial attack mode so that I can simultaneously have access to the Linux foundation of the Bash Bunny. But I'm just going to do udisk mount. So this should not work because Windows has access to the file system here. But now, when we ls udisk, we see our files, which should not work. But the fun thing about standards is you can abuse them. So we can now touch udisk/done. Now, if we were to refresh, we don't see it, right? That's exactly what I was kind of getting at. I wasn't expecting that to work. In fact, ls udisk, we see this file done, but it's not really there. The thing is, maybe if we sync it, but I think that's syncing from the perspective of the Bash Bunny. I really doubt that we're ever going to see done. Yeah, we're not going to see done here. And I don't know if it's even going to work vice versa. Like if I create a new folder here, actually we'll create a new text file called hello world.txt, and in it we're going to put sup. Okay. Ls udisk. Are we going to see hello world.txt? Yes, we are. Oh crap. This is going to work. Now you see why too. This is not supposed to work, by the way. but we do it anyway because it does. Cat hello world, cat udisk slash hello world.txt should say sup, and it says sup. So there you go. One command. Even though we should not do this, it's still a knowledge. It'll work. We just have to add udisk mount to this payload. I don't love doing it. I would love to capture done a different way, like fire up a web server on the Bash Bunny and have it listen for a wget, and then we just run the PowerShell IWR or something. But you know what? I just want to make this payload work in its existing state, and for everybody on our Hak5 GitHub repository that just downloaded this payload and is so keen to see it work, and then they're like, why isn't it working? And they don't have that experience, then they're, yeah. So let's just make it better for them. I hope, well, I'll send it as a PR and I'll explain what I'm doing, and then I'll, but for right now, let's just proof of concept fix this. So payloads, switch one, payload.txt. And we still have our 2 and 3 files here because we didn't ever create the done file and safely, we didn't, finish. So we never got to the cleanup aspect in our setup. Right after attack mode hid storage, we're going to do udisk mount. That's it. That should do the trick. Save it. Boom. Boom. That's it. We don't need to exit. It's a shell. It doesn't matter. Yes. Goodbye. Thank you for calling. All right. Shall we? I'm excited. All right. We got our Windows box. We got our listener. Yeah, let's their listener at the top there. All right, cool. Our listener, got our Windows box. Switch position 1. I really do. I'm saying thank you to myself. Hey, past Darren, thank you for reminding me what the switch positions are on the Bash Bunny decal. And plug that guy in. And away we go. We can actually, we can get into that. We can bypass that with a little vidpid action. Okay. Yep. And now we're going to get it again. Now we're going to get our final control delete. We're in 3rd stage. Should be in 3rd stage. Blink, blink, blink. Blink, blink, blink. Come on. Yes. Nope. It's not seeing the done file. Not seeing the done file. No. It's hung. I should have added serial to the attack mode. Let's do that. Well, you know what? We're still in attack mode storage. So I'm just going to do it here. I'm going to yeet this thing in. Switch 1, payload.txt. We might be using all of our USB endpoints, so I do not know if we can run all 3. So the way that works is each attack mode emulates a different USB device. USB devices take various amounts of different endpoints, and there's a finite number of those that the Bash Bunny can emulate. I believe HID takes 1, serial storage take 2, serial takes 1. There's an incompatibility with like 2, like you couldn't do attack mode HID storage serial ECM Ethernet as much as you would love to. You'll run out of endpoints. I think this is enough that we can do all 3. We'll see. This might not work. Let's find out. But at least when we've got serial access in, we'll see the mount. Oh, you know what we could also do? We could sync the file system right here. This might have been why it didn't. So it does the wait until. We'll do sync. Okay. We'll do both of those changes. I know you shouldn't do 2 changes simultaneously, but whatever. All right, Bash Bunny, safely eject. All right. Run that payload again. Little bunny, hacking this Windows, little bunny. Oops, 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 oops. I wasn't clicked into the VM. Let's try that again. Oh, it's many attack modes. It's a different device. I have to authorize it to pass through to the VM. I told you, like, running this on the VM is not necessarily the best practice. Okay. All the stuff that we expect. But still no dice. And the reason is because we haven't seen the done. That's it. So if we actually go to Bash Bunny, the root of it, we don't see the done. We might just invoke this. Let's by the way, that right there is a little trick, a little hack. GUI-R, if you just run the dot command, it's going to open Explorer in the current working directory, which in the case of the run dialog is the user's home directory. I just want to go to downloads and run putty, but Windows key R dot enter. Also Windows key E opens Explorer. So, yep. All right, just a sec. I need to catch up on chat. Give me a second, guys. And let's get our chat overlay going. So anything new will pop up here in a moment. All right, so Bugbot says he didn't know that we can see that with sync, and that would prevent the need to eject, so that opens up so many possibilities. I think what we need is a back channel between the target and the Bash Bunny to know when various stages happen. And I think that we actually have a really good solution. I know Dallas is working on that currently on the USB rubber ducky, actually. Maybe that's something that we can introduce on the Bash Bunny, because it's a very novel and simple way to know that a stage succeeded, but I'm not ready to introduce that on this payloader stream. I think with the USB rubber, sorry, with the Bash Bunny, probably a simpler event would be to have a listener, even if it's just like netcat, and then you could just hit it. Like you could listen on port 443 and then GUI-R // bunny if you're in ECM Ethernet. Although let's not Ethernet if we don't have to. Although if we did Ethernet, we could get all of these payload stages off by IWR in PowerShell. So it would be pulling them down off the internet, off the network, whatever, off the Bash Bunny, rather than over mass storage. And a lot of times organizations will block random mass storage. So that's one thing. That's one way that we could go. And then a lot of organizations will also block the Ethernet as well, in which case then you just have to hit inject the entire thing. And it's quite a bit of PowerShell, but it's not the end of the world. All right. Hey, Cherise, I'm looking forward to seeing that on your web server when you got that going. Okay, hang on. Twitch chat is trying to get my attention, and yet I don't know what they're trying to get my attention to. Please post again so that I can see. Can you check? Ah, there we go. Good point. Thank you. All right, let's take a look. Let's check the Windows registry, folks. I'm like trying to make this so that we can also see all of this. We'll get there. We'll get there. All right. GUI-R. Oh gosh, regedit. Control Shift Enter. Left Enter. Key current user. I believe it's current user. Let's see. Local machine. HKLM. Local machine. Under software. And then Microsoft. And then Windows. And T. Then T. Never tested. What? Current version. Accessibility. ATs. AT&T. And there we go. All right, so we have our AT&T. Let's go ahead and switch to the big view. And again, I'm going to make this even bigger. Hopefully that is quite visible on the stream. Put our listener over here. All right. Hopefully we can all see that. So the question then becomes, which stage of the payload are we in? Let's see this entire parameter. Yeah. This is stage 2 because it hasn't run stage 3, has it? Because that would have created a new one, wouldn't it have? This is not the one that checks to see if it, oh no, this is the one, if it not equals, yes. Then it still hasn't run 3. Is 3 our final stage? 3 is final stage, isn't it? Let's go check. Payloads, switch 1. What is 3? Let's open that notepad. Send to notepad. Oh gosh, do it the old-fashioned way. 3. No. Oh. 3 drops the final stage, and the final stage looks like, but it continues with, okay. Well, so the question is, will this work now that I have the bash bunny? So if I hit Control-Delete right now, it's going to open up a secure desktop. The secure desktop is going to run the ATs. One of the ATs is AT&T. This AT&T is going to run this bit of VB script that runs this PowerShell. So literally, if I run this PowerShell right here, well, I can't do it from GUI-R because that's going to be, if I do GUI-R and then this, it's only going to run it as the user that's logged in. So it's actually not going to work because the PowerShell is going to do if who am I, come on, is not equal to NT authority. So it's not going to equal that. But if I open up an NT authority one, then there we go. So let's just go ahead and hit Control-Delete because that should work because I've got the bash bunny there, and switch position 1/3 exists. So it should then run this, and our listener over here should get some action. So virtual machine, send Control-Delete. And escape. Didn't run. Huh. Didn't run that bit. Let's try running Notepad as system. No, so that wasn't it either. Where does this run Payload? That's interesting. Can't find $% payload. What? Yeah, value is the payload. Okay, so what it does is it creates a new one, polant named 1. So let's see if 1 is here in our ATs. Nope. I don't see it. Don't see it. Bummer. let's see if the config contains AT&T. All right. So there's the accessibility, and we've got our config. Accessibility config, okay. All right, version. Is there an accessibility config? I would assume that there would be a new keyword here called config and include that. So we probably need, is it that we're going to need a new D word here that's called config that includes, oh, it's current user. I'm looking at NTLM, or sorry, yeah, local machine. I'm looking at local machine. It current user, software, Microsoft, Windows, NT, current version, accessibility, configuration says AT&T. So there we go. Well, it should be kicking off then. Should be kicking off. So my local user is set to run AT&T. Yeah, you know, I'm lost too, bot 4. I think two things have happened here. One, we've got the issue of not getting to done, but I think we've got a good, clever fix for that. And actually, there's many ways. Like, I think one of the really good ways would be to just set up a listener. We can mock that up. Should check see if AMSI blocks some strings. I don't know if bare metal is going to change anything, because if it didn't work this way, and the other thing is, all right, well, you know what? We'll try it on bare metal. I'm going to force it to run the payload by editing payload.txt, and right down here where we loop over waiting for the done, we are going to do something really nasty and hacky. We're going to do delay 10,000. Wait for 10 seconds. It's just going to do the thing. I don't think this is going to work. And there's a couple of things at play here. All right, well, let me take out my serial, take out my U-disk mount, save it and give it a shot on the bare metal. The thing about the bare metal is I don't have a way to restore from snapshot. So I'm going to end up with a bunch of extra registry keys. And that's why, that's like the double-edged sword of running bare metal. On the one hand, you get like a way cleaner experience. All right. Well, let's do a side-by-side so we can see. Oh, I need to safely eject this. Cool. Bash Bunny is in payload 1. We've got our boring Windows box here. And we've got our listener here. So we can kind of put that VM to the side for a second. All right. And away we go. Oh, down. Boop. Boom, ba-dum. Boom. Boom. Ba-dum. Boom. Oh. Oh. Oh, of course we saw the green flash because my delay. I thought I did delay. I I did delay 10,000. I did not do quack delay 10,000. I know how to use a bash money. Damn it. Oops. 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 Oh well. I'll just make it a sleep. I don't know why I didn't just do sleep. I mean, it's bash. It's bash for heaven's sakes. Payloads, switch 1, payload txt. Sleep 10. Sleep defaults to seconds. All right. Eject. Try it again. Come on. Oh, this terrible, terrible, terrible computer. What the hell did they do to Windows? They ruined it, you know that? They ruined Windows. I mean, it was never that great to begin with. I just want to go to my computer. Where's this stupid sidebar thing? I just hate Windows these days. I say that, but I miss gaming. You know? All right. We give it another shot, but again, I don't expect. This is what happens when you proof of concept. Or when you this is part of the fun of doing pull requests. All right. Come on. Yeah. There we go. Ten-second delay right here in the third stage. Hits Control Delete. We do our finish. It does its cleanup, but we don't get the goods. No goodies. No goodies. That's a shame. All right. Well, it's close. Part of me wants to start working on fixing that. Part of me wants to write this epic, like with what I've just learned now from the, what is it called? That PowerShell IWR, sending the who am I. It's so brilliant, send who am I. Part of me wants to do that, but we'll do that with the Cloud C2 thing. Yeah, the new Surface Go is really hot. This, like, I love the Surface Go. Like, was that the machine that I took around the world? Yeah, hack across the planet. I lived in Indonesia for like 6 months, and I ran Hak5 and did all the video blogging and everything off a Surface Go. No, I'm sorry, it wasn't a Go. It was just a Surface. It wasn't a Go. Never mind. That thing got a Dorito in it. I think it was like an i3. This is actually an i5 Go. Half decent. 8 gigs of RAM, I want to say, maybe 16. Nothing crazy. But what I like about it is it's 11 inches, right? That's a good size machine. 11 by, what is that? 8? 11 by 8. Totally usable too. All right, well. Hey, Dalexec. What's up, Dalexec? And Cheeto Bandito. Yeah, Martin G, that invoke web request is really good. I did not see the modular laptop, Dalexec. You would have to drop a link. And we're going to ignore the spam caller. Okay, well, I think I'm inspired by that payload. I'm excited to see it get finessed to run beautifully because I think it's got so much potential. And what we need to, and our buddy got the, what is it called? The Payload Award. So that's great. So we've rewarded. So mission accomplished on that front. And now let's just update our style guide and go through some more PRs before ending the stream, because we've been going for almost 2 hours, and that's what I really want to do is get that's my main thing, is updating the style guide, because we got some great PRs in here, and I'm realizing like, oof, we really should like mention like, hey, we need it done this way or that way. And I've got a little web browser around here somewhere. There we go. All right. You're kidding me. Frame.work. No way. Oh, that's pretty. I mean, that's what it looks like when you work on a laptop. But it's modular. Wait. I'm sorry. We're calling this a modular laptop now. Back in my day, we just called them a laptop. Like, that's how it worked. You could like change out the RAM and the hard drive and stuff. Oh my gosh, little USB-C modules. That's cute. That's cute. Yeah. You know, a lot of PCI cards are actually USB. Like, you wouldn't believe how many things in hardware are actually just USB. Most modems inside of laptops that you find on a PCI bus, and you're like, why can't I just put this in a different mini PCI and expect it to work? They don't work because they're not actually mini PCI. They just use the connector. Like, literally, mini PCI has a line for D plus and D minus over USB. And you throw in some voltage and ground, call it a day. So, all right. I mean, still very cool. Very cool. I appreciate it. Not in the market for a laptop at the moment, but if I were, does seem cool. I hope they stick around, because the whole concept of that is only good for as long as they are continuing to make great parts for it. So, yeah. Okay. I really like this. We're going to do that on another payload. But back to, you know, I should leave a comment on that payload to let other people know it's kind of like in the works. Payloads, library, execution. See, this is the problem with GitHub. I just want to leave a comment, and I want the forum right here. Like, I want the discussion right here. Like, GitHub is great, don't get me wrong, but like, if we could have some sort of like GitHub meets forums. All right, I'll go and I'll leave it in here. I'll just leave an FYI so like other people that didn't watch this stream will know kind of what's going on. Darren can spell. All right. Well, there we go. At least anyone that comes across this now. Yeah, I guess I would need to open a report or issue on it. That would have been the better way to do it than leaving a comment on the PR. I'm just hoping someone finds that, you know, GitHub is wonderful. I just kind of want to build my own based on Git. That's like WebGit meets forums. But I don't have the resources to do that because we're busy building other amazing stuff. So, you know, if you're a web developer, I don't know, slide into my DMs. All right, cool. Well, that is our execution payload AT&T. We got a couple of more PRs that we're going to take a look at, but really I kind of want to update this. This is an old article at docs.hak5.org. It needs love. It needs some love. And actually, I hate the guide, the Zendesk guide. It's wonderful, like in that I can, like, you know, we can all quickly put guides up and stuff. But, you know, it doesn't show all the articles until you go into all of that, which means stuff gets buried. But whatever, we're going to find a better way to expose DuckyScript for all of the languages. We have something really fun in the works in that regard. But at least for the moment, I want to just put all of the best practices stuff really where you're going to look for it. So if you're looking to, you know, post a payload, you're going to come to here, and then you're going to see this README that hasn't been updated in forever and looks jankety jank because that doesn't even exist anymore. This is pointing to a WP content because we don't use WordPress, so this image doesn't exist. Let's find an image that does. .org/bunny. Do you know there's shortcuts? There are shortcuts. Copy image address. And did you also know that you can hack the URL of these and change the underscore 2000x to underscore 500x and get a 500 wide pixel version of the thing? Yeah, that's fun. And then you can copy that link address. And we use a CDN that we don't have to pay for this way. All right. Boom. Okay. That's not the URL for it anymore. Use that one to more. Org. Boom. The wiki, it was moved to docs.hak5.org. Payload development. Exciting stuff, guys. I know, right? Watching Darren fix a README MD. Exciting television. Yeah, you know what? I really like that concept, XR globalized, an SMB share on. So what you would do is you would use the dependency in packet, install in packet on the bash bunny. Easy, copy the deb to the tools folder, reboot in ARM mode, and it'll install it. And then you can run /tools/in-packet/ there's an example that's an SMB server. Point the SMB server to /root/udisk/ $switch position, or sorry, payload switch position, and then share that, you know, where your payload lives as an SMB share. Then on your payload, you hit inject GUI-R / the IP address of the bash bunny, which is always, well, which is by default 172.16.64.1. However, if for some reason you're changing that on your bash bunny, you can always reference the variable, or you can get it using the get extension. So get, I think it's like host _IP, and it'll expose that variable. So I mean, honestly, I would hard code it because I'm lazy, but you should probably use the variable just in case somebody changes their network configuration. Not like we really expose that in a meaningful way. So if you're going through and editing your like slash Etsy slash interfaces or network interfaces, then you're probably smart enough to fix a payload. But in any event, yeah, I would just have it run the PowerShell from SMB. The problem with doing that is you're now asking Windows to execute a PowerShell script from a Samba share, which probably has extra permissions. So it would be better to copy it locally. So maybe we just do a little CP to the local disk, execute it from there. I don't know. Definitely worth proof of concepting, looking into that, because it's a great way to get information to and from actually a machine over SMB as opposed to USB mass storage. USB mass storage is just so convenient. Mm-hmm. Documentation forms. IRC. We're not really using IRC. Amazing how quickly Discord just kind of took over. I mean, the IRC is still there. We don't hang there that much, though. C'est la vie. Not all protocols will last forever, I guess. Okay. All right. So. Yay, I removed 3 words. Okay, that makes me happy. It makes me happy. All right, so submitting payloads through this submitifier is kind of nice because you can choose Bash Bunny, your thing, and then your payload name. You can hit submit, and it will take you to a new payload.txt, exactly where you just specified the category for the device that you wanted. So kind of love that. And a link is just the parentheses, right? Is it just parentheses? Oh gosh. Here we go. Do ports of the nano payloads to the Mark 7 count towards the rewards program? And how does the rewards program work? Didn't really figure it out. Real simple. You submit a pull request, you get a reward if it's good. If you submit hello world, I mean, you know, like if it's another Rickroll, like we'll accept it. Like I'm not saying you get a $100 gift card for hello world, but Yeah, porting a nano payload to a Mark 7, that would totally get you a reward, for sure. And it works much the same way. So, you get yourself, I mean, we call them payloads, but there's a repository for the USB rubber duck, confusing my children, the Wi-Fi Pineapple. So it's like Wi-Fi Pineapple modules. So it's github.com/hak5 MK7 modules. So these right here. And actually, we should have Mark on to explain more. But, ooh, man, Mark, nice README, MD. Really like the way they're contributing. Yeah, documentation. Oh, see, you know what? I'm stealing this. Mark, you did a great job, and now I want to borrow this. But yeah, we should have Mark on to discuss how good do they have to be, though? They just have to work. That's it. And actually, as you saw, 903 or 309 got his reward, and the payload doesn't work, but I have confidence it will. I would say it needs to not RMRF your hard drive. It needs to not be a goatsy wallpaper downloader. But no, I mean, if it works, you're gonna get rewarded because you're helping us make the thing better, and then you're helping all of our brothers and sisters in the Hak5 community have cool stuff. So why shouldn't you be rewarded? You absolutely should. In fact, you should join the Wi-Fi Pineapple developer program, and then you can even get like free hardware when you make modules, and you can get access to the Discord and talk to the developers and like get help with your code. We've seen some, in fact, I'm excited because I was actually just talking 2 days ago to Russ, who's working on a Wi-Fi Pineapple thing that's actually hardware, and it's pretty cool. It's not my place to give it away, but I'm so excited because the hardware is done now. He's just writing the software for it, but it's an add-on module for the Mark 7, and I think that's so cool. So, yeah. Oh gosh. Oh no. Hang on. Why? No, I want to talk to. No, can't. I'm on the stream. Sorry. Dang it. Really want to talk to them. That's okay. All right. So let's. Before. Okay. So I've got word that Mark here, Wi-Fi Pineapple developer extraordinaire, is going to be joining the stream. So while we're waiting on him, I'm going to be stealing his Markdown. I'm going to steal Mark's Markdown. I really like, okay, so it's just pound. And I just like standardizing on what it is, payloads, contributing, documentation. I think that will look really good. I've got too many things open. Contributing, documentation, style guide. Right. Ooh, you know what we're going to do? We are going to have some chill. Just get some chill music going. Yeah. So we're going to go to Zombocom. That's what we're going to do. Because I have to pee. So I'll be right back. So you guys enjoy Zombocom. Have we had enough?
This is ZomboCom. Welcome.
We good on ZomboCom? It's up to you guys.
You can do anything.
We can ZomboCom a little longer. Hey, thank you that the submit button goes to the wrong place. Thank you. Oops. You couldn't hear the ZomboCom. Oh, because I turned myself off. Oh, I should have just left. Yeah, good point. Well, I'm learning something new every day.
This is ZomboCom, and welcome to you.
Oh my gosh. Come on. There we go. About to say, if I can't open a water bottle, how am I ever going to live up to my real superpowers, which is that I can reach the top shelf and open jars. So all you single ladies out there, I can reach that top shelf and I can open that jar. Yep. Real man in your life. Waiting to be. Okay. So here we go. Let's first fix that page. Oops. Hak5.org/pages/payload-awards. I hate that I kick that off and then immediately there's a fire and I have to haul ass across the country, and then the van breaks down and then I have to get it into the shop, and then I have to furnish an apartment, which I've sparsely barely done. But anyway, here we are, office hours, at Hak5. We're going to get it done. We're going to work through these pull requests. We're going to award some heroes, and we're going to have a nice little award show at the end of the year, actually. It's going to be great. So which enter now redirects to the wrong page. Let's see, enter now. Yep, that one works. Enter now. That one works. Submit a payload. Oh, fail. That's no good. That's no good at all. Well, let's fix it. Okay. Well, so one second, guys. And guess who we've got here? It's Mark.
How's it going?
Dude, it's good to see you.
You too, man.
Are you feeling so fresh and so clean?
Yeah, I heard what you said about me, so I had to make sure I was super clean for the stream.
Yeah, you heard that. I mean, like the smell-o-vision on the meats.
Oh yeah.
I messed up and I need to edit one of the pages because it turns out the submit a payload button goes to hak5.org/payloads instead of payloads.hak5.org. Oops. And
Nice.
yeah, it's an easy fix. So I'm taking care of that. How are you today?
Yeah, not too bad. Just been working on some fruit-related subjects. Yeah.
Oh, you're working on the coconut, or is that a legume?
No. The
No?
coconut doesn't exist. Remember?
Oh, right. That's right. There
Yeah.
isn't there is not a there's no coconut.
Yeah.
This is true.
You really sold that. Everyone's gonna believe us.
Oh yeah. Yeah. No, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
No one's fired up for that at all. Yeah. The coconut is actually just a opportunity to troll you with a picture that's totally not Darren as a coconut.
That's what I've been telling everyone.
Mm-hmm.
And then MG tweeted that box, right? So it's just an empty box. Now we're really committed to the bit.
Oh, did he tweet the box?
Yeah, like the side. He said
Oh,
it was really funny. He like zoomed in on it.
yeah.
I can't remember what he said.
No, well, hang on. Let me check the box.
But you can't open it.
Well, I'm not gonna open it. Just,
There's nothing inside it anyway. So
well, yeah, it's empty.
yeah.
What does it say? Oh, well, that's what he showed. Where it says where it says the contents. Come on, focus. Yeah, it says right there. Contents. Oops. Contents.
That's it.
It includes a Wi-Fi coconut and an instruction card. So, I mean, what more do you need? Oh, well, I guess you need a PC with 1 gigahertz or faster, 1 gigabyte of RAM, 100 megabytes of free hard drive space, hard disk space, cross-platform application compatible with Mac OS.
You need a gig of RAM?
You need a gig of RAM.
No one needs a gig.
I mean,
no one's ever going to need more than, what was it?
I needed to
64?
write 640K.
Yeah.
640K ought to be enough for everybody, at least conventionally. Yeah.
So I saw that Koala, of all people, had a question about the Mac 7 modules.
Oh yeah, that's right. Here, let me. He had a pretty good question. Where was it?
He should know the answer to this already, but
do you see the chat on your right sidebar? Do you have the ability to show them?
yeah, I see it.
Can you put them up?
Can I put them up?
When you hover over them, do you get the opportunity to show? Like this comment right here. What's in the box? Nothing. It's an empty box.
I only get to like read them.
Oh, I wish I could make you a producer, so I don't have to do all the clicking. But
that's okay.
But for instance, Shadow Master 666 knows what's up.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm trying to find Koala's comment.
So he said, oh, I can't see it anymore. I think he said something along the lines of porting Mac 6 modules. Sorry, excuse me, Nano and Tetra modules to the Mac 7.
Yeah, and Mark 6 would be VI, and we don't use that.
Yeah, we don't use VI.
Here. No, yeah. No. All right. Yeah.
So
there's some great modules for the Nano and Tetra.
Yeah, I think so Koala has made 2 of them already, I believe. He authored Mac Info and Locate, I think. So
really?
if he wanted
to wait. Koala is the author of those modules for the Mark 7?
Yeah.
Oh, that's fantastic. Nice.
So
he get a payload reward?
No, he nagged me too much, so I told him I'd paid in my time already.
No, man, give him a payload reward. What are we doing here?
So if you wanted to look at old Nano and Tetra modules, they're not that hard to port. It just takes a little bit of reading to understand how the old one worked, right?
Yeah,
Things like making API requests is basically the same. Stuff like that.
Nice, because one of them was Angular, and the other is
Yes.
Angular JS. Am I getting that right?
The old one is Angular JS. The new one is Angular 2 or whatever it's called now.
Proper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually tried rebooting into Linux to join the call, but my displays wouldn't start. So hey.
Bummer.
Yeah, go figure.
Yeah. Well, can you actually share your display? It won't automatically go live, but I'm curious.
Yeah, I can share a window.
Please. Let's.
Get opened first. This all be fine. Let's see if that works.
All right. 1 second. I just fixed the payloads page so that when you click submit a payload, it actually takes you to the right place. And I see your screen. So let's do that.
I'll punch in a little bit. So.
Okay.
So let's look at one that he wrote. You can find more information about how they're structured and stuff in the docs. I wrote an article on getting started and with an example hello world. So basically you have a Python for the backend, a Python file for the backend, and then all the front end stuff goes in this lib folder. So if we take a look at his offline check, this is basically all it is, right? You have this request function for our API, and you send a module, an action, and then whatever else you want, which if anyone here has ever written Nano and Tetra modules, will recognize the same pattern because it's this, right? It's basically the same thing. So you pass this JSON object with a module and an action at the least, and then you receive a callback with a response. And that's how you pass data back and forth between. So if we duplicate that and look at his Python, he has an action called checkmack.
Okay.
There should be an action here called checkmack. There it is. And then this action runs this function where he looks like he passes the MAC address that we give. So this is this part, this user input.
Right.
Which is going to be linked to a form field on his.
So that's where the
HTML,
component
right?
runs the Python.
Yeah. So this is in the browser, and then the browser basically sends it through to the Python backend. And then he'll do a lookup with this regex. So it's essentially the same. So if we look at the dauth module from the old Pineapple, which is in here.
Yeah, it was a fan
There's going to be an
favorite,
action called refresh status.
Okay, and then there's going to be Python for refresh status. No, it's PHP.
Yeah, this one's PHP.
Yeah.
But essentially the same thing. You have this big function that routes your requests, and then here it is. And then basically we do our work, and then we always send this response.
What does the response include?
So this one's an array. So it turns into JSON.
Oh, okay.
We find out if there's an SD card available for this one, stuff like that. Our dependencies installed, things like that.
Oh, actually, dependency installation is done in the API and in the framework, is it not?
Currently for modules, so we have a Python framework that all these modules use, which is right here. I'm gonna have to find. I think it's in modules. module.py or helpers. Here we go. So we have these helper functions like install dependency. So it's really easy for people who write modules on the new one to get dependencies by just running this function and then the name of it, right? The name of the package. But something that I thought was a good idea, I think someone even may have suggested it to me in the Discord, was to have so to provide some context, each module also has one of these JSON files somewhere. There it is. And it just tells the pineapple a little bit about what your module is, right? Like a name, a title, the author, stuff like that. And it would be cool if there was a field for like required dependencies. And then you could just list, like, say I'm writing one for like air replay, right?
Yeah,
You need air
you need
replay
the whole
engine.
air crack suite at that point. Might as well.
So I think I'd like to add that at some point. So in a future firmware, you can write modules where you just have to list what you need, and then we'll take care of it for you, so you don't have to write some more Python.
Nice.
But for the time being,
I mean, it totally works though. I mean, like, what if you've got multiple dependencies? You just do it multiple times.
Yeah, so you can have an array of strings, and each entry would be a dependency.
Yeah. Well, you know, they're asking. Koala should not be embarrassed because it's an awesome, module for the Mark 7. I'd love to see if he could port some, because that's totally cool. And they're now clamoring for Koala to get some rewards. So I say we send him some Hak5 loot, give him the confetti.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
I ruse him a little bit on the Discord, so it's been good.
Well, as you should.
Yeah.
Which is like totally off character if you know Mark.
Oh yeah.
Like, wait, what? Mark rusing someone? No.
Yeah. I'm known for being very serious.
Hey, have you seen this? UCU just posted this, and I had never seen it before.
Let's take a look.
I can't click it from within the thing. I can only show and hide. I went to it and I was like, wait, what? Yeah. No. Scroll. Check this out. I'm like, what? It's a customized rubber ducky payload for the Bash Bunny firmware, but it's like this whole repo for this. And he wants you to like git clone it. And like, I'm like, what? This is like way overkill for this. So I'm like, but it includes all of these things, and it just seems, I mean, I don't know if I'm just overthinking
so I think they're like,
but he's included.
It's like a setup, right? Like his configuration.
His whole configuration to do the WinNum and the proc dump and Wi-Fi creds ripper and mimikatz.
Yeah.
So, okay, that's one way to go about it. I don't know how to.
Someone said, "Why did you go with Angular for the front end and not Python too?" Sorry, not Python with Ginger or something. Because I think Ginger is bad. Sorry, and we wanted a layer of not compatibility, but you don't want to change it too much, right? For people who have already written modules for the Nano and the Tetra, and going from Angular JS to Angular 2 isn't that different. The only real difference, I think, is in building it, which we provide scripts to do that for you anyway. And Python is used for the backend when basically all of it, right? If you have any backend logic in your module, you don't have to write it in Python, but it's what we recommend. You can write in Bash if you want, right? You just need to be able to talk over a Unix socket. It gets a little bit complex when you start going into languages that aren't Python, but I have to talk about that some other time.
We should mock one up sometime. It'd be fun.
Yeah.
Do a little hello world action. Yeah, I was noting before you joined, I was taking a look at the the way that you did. Oh wow, triple threat. Yeah, we can turn off your screen for a sec.
That's a
Yeah,
that's a good angle.
yeah. No, I was taking a look at what you were doing as far as the documentation on that GitHub is
Oh
concerned.
yeah.
Yeah,
You like my readmes?
I do. I do like your readmes, and I was realizing that like we've already, basically, I don't know. I need to do this to all the repos because it's in the repo that you're looking for the information on contributing, and that's definitely the right terminology. So I'm stealing that. Yeah.
Cool.
Yep. And then updating the style guide. I did like that 309 put his Twitter handle in his payload. Like the current, what is it called? Best practice style guide thing that we've got up here.
Yeah.
Some of this stuff is a bit superfluous, but all we really care is that there's author description and title. But all the other stuff is like, it doesn't hurt. It is kind of nice to know.
Yeah, I would make like it's kind of hard to see my preview. Or does it say
Please.
version? Yeah, version is one that we should have.
Oh yeah. Yeah. No, I was and what I'm going to get at here, and I don't know if it's like, watch Darren sit here in Photoshop making images and editing readmes is all that exciting, but that's office hours. You guys tuned in. It's not my fault. No, I kind of just want to put like a big no sign, a big yes sign for like some of the things we were talking about that I don't think it's quite apparent because it's a little buried as far as like our policies are concerned. Like the real big ones are like, no, we ain't taking binaries. No shipping the binary in the GitHub. Sorry.
Yeah, I had to explain that to someone earlier.
Oh, really?
I understand that it might be a little bit frustrating, but also there's not a lot of us here, right? And so the three ways to solve it are I blindly trust you, which why would we do that? And the other one is we have to like review your code and then try and compile it ourselves, which is what we do for Pineapple packages. But that on its own is enough of a challenge. So it's easier for you to just like provide the source for your binary in the payload and say, hey, you have to compile this if you're going to use it, and then the onus is on you to not compile bad code.
Yep.
Yeah. It's more a liability thing, I think.
Yeah, speaking of liability, that's kind of what I'm working on right now is editing this. I'm like, okay, this repository contains payloads for the Bash Bunny. All payloads here are community developed by security researchers for ethical hacking purposes only. And testers and teamers are encouraged to share their payloads by following the best practices and style guides below and contributing.
Says your screen share is frozen on the
Is it really?
Twitch, apparently.
My screen share is frozen. For real?
Yeah.
Oh, weird. I wonder if this will fix it. That's something new to learn.
Oh yeah, that.
Huh.
Oh, it showed the like the stage behind. Oh, there we go. Now it's fixed.
Yeah.
I forgot there was a little delay on the stream.
Yeah, and there's like a wallpaper back there that you can kind of see when things are popping up, and we can do, fun stuff like this. So, yeah. Just trying to make some things. Developers should create pull requests for any changes to payloads. I stole your copy. And submit new payloads.
So it said, the reason I ask is I do not know JavaScript frameworks like that unless there is an easy way to get the hang of it. Yeah, it's pretty easy to do most things that you would want to do in a module. If you want to look at examples, I'll put the link in the Twitch chat. But there's an introduction to module development, right? And the only thing you kind of need to know is how to make a div.
Is that this one right here? Hak5.github.io.
Yeah, that's the one.
Docs. Yeah.
Why
don't you walk us through that while I update this README MD?
Yeah, sure. Is my screen live?
Your screen is up. And we've got the chat on the right. So, yeah. Feel free.
So the too long didn't read of this is there's a GitHub repository that has these scripts inside, this create.sh, and then an example. And you clone the repo and you run the script, and it's like a little wizard, right? Asks you the name, the title, stuff like that. And then it pre-populates most things for you. So you'll end up with a thing that you can upload straight away, and it says example module. This is the example module. Mm-hmm. And then the only kind of front end stuff that you need to know is things like making cards. So if you go to Angular, I think it's material.angular.io. Cards. It's stuff like this. And the Angular material docs have all kinds of examples. And all of this is supported from inside a Pineapple module. And then the other thing other than that is binding, which would be the same as it is in AngularJS. I don't have a text editor handy, but in the example, you can see that we have this button, right? So the button has a click event attached to it that will run this do API action function. And then we make an API call, and then we just write our response to a variable. And then we display that in the HTML. The data binding is done by just putting the variable name between two curly braces on each side. I think it's here somewhere. Yeah, and then this section goes into adding user input to pass along your request. And then things like Python helpers and stuff, they're all documented in these pages. Same for the TypeScript part. And then we have our own REST API that's kind of built into the Pineapple server for doing basically anything that isn't module related. So if you want to get like a recon scan, you can do it like this by just posting a get to this URL.
What's the URL?
So for a recon scan, you make a get request to like /API recon scans, and gotcha. You'd get a list of scans. And then you can get a specific one by specifying the ID at the end.
Oh, cool. So like modules can talk to each other.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Well, Recon's a very powerful module.
Yeah. But so even modules that are written by the community, you can talk to them as well, like between those two, by just in the example, instead of doing a request to your own module, let's find it here. You can specify any other module that's installed on the system. I need to zoom in a little bit. For people who, like I said, people who have written Nano and Tetra modules before, a lot of this should seem familiar. Mm-hmm. And the goal for like these kind of docs was to make it a little bit lower barrier to entry.
The barrier to entry is already, a little bit higher than your average payload, but the documentation is so well done that, given a couple of Hello World examples, that's why I want to just have like the text field execute button, log read, boilerplate guy, because most of what I want to do. Although then again, I say that, and I can also just hit tilde.
Yeah, that is a nice little feature, huh?
Yeah, it is. I don't get the sexiness of having it as like, ooh, it's in the module place, and I get a cool icon for it and all that jazz.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, if anyone watching is interested in writing these modules, anything that you don't find in the docs, so if you need anything explaining, please feel free to join the Discord. It's hak5.org/Discord, and I'm Foxtrot in there. So just tag me and ask a question if you have one. I'll try and answer it.
Yeah, the next integration that I want to get is from the blog to the Discord, because I can get from GitHub to the blog and then blog to Discord. There we go. And then from the blog to Twitter and Facebook. So the whole, like, one of the things that I'm working on is just trying to like automate this workflow so that our heroes in the community can get recognized with ease without it becoming like a ton of work. And so
yeah,
I'm excited because, with the right scripts that can read RSS, hey.
yeah, that'd be cool to add. Integrate all the things. I think it's I4, right? That's the pronunciation for your name. Either way, he said Foxtrot has plenty of time, and well, I wouldn't agree with that. I'm willing to make the time to answer the questions that you have.
Yeah. I also love XR Globalized pointed out something that's like, yeah, that's kind of scary, fun, cool. Bash Bunny can install a root certificate.
Yeah. I think it was Panic Acid who wrote the printer.
He wrote a
Printer
print nightmare.
Is it called? Yeah,
he wrote a print nightmare payload. Although, did you see in chat this morning the even shorter version?
Oh yes, I did.
Oh my god, that's so good. Do you want to do it on this Windows box? We'll do a snapshot and then we'll restore it. What do you think?
Sure.
All right, this is fun. So y'all know Print Nightmare, right?
So I'm not super familiar with not only the Windows printer stack, right, but Windows internals in general.
Well, but you're familiar with the vulnerability. The nice thing about this is it's become so simplified that you don't even need to know literally what it's doing. You just need to like run a command. Like, this is some total script kiddie stuff in that we're literally just going to run a command and get a user.
So the one that you sent, I mean, walk through the command, right?
Yeah, let's walk through the command. All right. So in fact, gosh, I want to be able to see this. Yeah, I'm not going to regret that at all. Yeah, right. So essentially, this net use command. This is an old, like, I don't want to say DOS command, but like CMD command. So we do net. There's like a bunch of options, and one of them is use, where you can use like any network device, right? So net help use will tell us that the net use command will allow our computer to use a shared resource, so we can disconnect and connect to different, like, typically it's like Samba shares, but it'll also do shared network printers. You can assign things. You could assign them like a drive letter D through Z. Interesting. Obviously, A, B, and C are reserved. You can assign printers to LPT1 through LPT3.
Right.
And the computers are prefixed with backslashes and all this jazz. And there's a bunch of other, stuff that you can do with it.
So it shows in that help text, like there's an option for domain, right? And I'm guessing by the command that doesn't have to be local to you.
No, that's the funny thing about this. If you'll remember, There was a shipping company, I forget which one now, back in 2017 that got hit by some malware that used SMB to proliferate. Oh, well, actually, hang on. The London Underground got hit by this as well. Do you remember it?
I'm not sure.
Oh,
Refresh my
gosh.
memory.
I don't remember the. Oh, we've got all of our screens sharing. Hang on. Yeah.
I can
Okay.
tell
Well,
them.
that just looks terrible. That's fine. Okay. So gosh, does anybody remember the name of that malware that used SMB to like run around the internet in 2017? And it was like one of the first kind of ransomware attacks. WannaCry.
Right. Okay.
WannaCry used this, and then everybody is like, "Wait a second, like, how is this even
Right.
possible?" Because why would SMB work over the internet? SMB is for like local networks, and as
Because
it
it
turns
was
out,
it's SMB1, right? Or 2, not the new
well,
one.
what it is a lot of people
It's
didn't
enabled.
a lot of people didn't firewall 443. Like this uses Windows RPC ports, which should not be open to the internet, but a lot of people are dumb. Also, props to Jay Welly pointing out one of my favorite commands. I also used this in high school all the time. We'll see. Windows 10 modern box is probably locked down, but net send. And then you would specify the box, but if you just did star, it would literally send it to every computer in the network, and then you can do hello world, right? And no, doesn't work because NetSend is not turned on by default anymore, but was always fun.
Damn, that sucks.
Dude, you could DOS an entire high school with that. Don't ask me how I know.
Theoretically, right? You wouldn't know that
Theoretically,
for certain.
yeah. Well, also, is there a good way to display users? Yeah, there is. Hang on. I forget the MSC. Does anybody ncpa.cpl?
Yeah, you can cat
No.
/etc/ oh wait, never mind.
Nah, yeah. No, on Windows, on
Yeah.
Microsoft Windows, it's gonna be, oh gosh, MSC. I forget the MSC. Hang on, let's probably in System 32. There they are. Haha. So these are all of the control panel elements, and you can run them from the run dialog because they are in the path. And so L user manager, local user manager.msc. So some of them are still 8.3, file names because they go back to like Windows 95 when they were not, where the long file names were not. There was a hack job, and so yeah, if we check under users, we only have, let's see, administrator, default account, DK. And what we're going to do is I'm going to snapshot this VM. Virtual machine, snapshot. Take a snapshot. Cool. This is, well, we're waiting for that snapshot. This is a MacBook Pro 16-inch with, I think, 32 or 64 gigs of RAM, whatever the max is. And it's got the i9. Quite happy with it. Yeah. Forget what it is. Yeah, 2.3 gig, 8-core i9, and 32 gigs of RAM. So, does the trick. Okay, so let's run that thingy. All right, so it's going to use a new network resource. That network resource is not, in fact, on our network. It's at gentlekiwi.com, and you'll know that name because GentleKiwi is the amazing developer behind the awesome tool Mimikatz. And then it does $IPC, which is a local thing. I forget how to describe that better. And then connects under the user, gentle guest, and the password to do run DLL32 to add a print, to add a printer, to add a new printer entry. What printer? Well, it's going to be this printer. So that's a legit printer. And in doing so, his print driver is going to create a new user account. So let's copy this and literally GUI R, paste it into the run line, hit enter. And now under users, refresh. Aw.
Oh, interesting.
Aw. Let's do it in the command. Command completed successfully.
Oh, there's another one though that didn't run.
Oh, there are two commands.
Yeah.
Oops, I need to semicolon or ampersand that, and then we'll put it in the run dialog. But yeah, let's run the second command. Let's get exploited. Let's get hacked. Okay, it's running. Taking a hot sec. I think actually what we've done is we've specified to Gentle Kiwi that we want a new username, Gentle Guest with the password.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's. Oh, come on.
Yes.
didn't
Now.
enter.
There
Oh,
we go.
connecting. Ha.
Yeah, Gentle Kiwi has, if you follow him on Twitter, has been, at least when the exploit first dropped, was pushing out different Mimikatz. I don't know how he calls them, but I guess payloads, right? Like 8 different versions of how to exploit this bug, and it went from, oh, you can do it like locally, and now you can do it remotely. It was amazing.
Yeah, it really was. All right, finishing installation. Connect to printer. Windows cannot connect to printer. Why?
Oh, an error code.
Oh, virus threat protection. Antivirus found threats. Get details. Yeah, let's get details. But while we're waiting for that, let's refresh. Oh,
If a defender has caught that already, that's really impressive.
that is really impressive.
There it is.
Start the recommended action hack tool. No,
Nice.
let's allow, because I really want to know. Yeah, fuck yeah. Let's get hacked.
There it is. So you can see it pulling down.
DLL. Love it.
So did Defender detect that DLL on the share? Is that what happened?
Yeah, it did. And
Nice.
I wonder if we were to host this on our own Samba share, if we might be able to buy.
Yeah.
No, it's Defender's smart. I'm just
Defender's
really
pretty good.
surprised they got it already. That was quick. Well,
Allow it, I suppose. Yeah.
Allowed threats. Well, I mean, I set to allow, but start actions. Okay. Yeah. Might have to run it again to get it to work.
Hmm.
And actually, at this point, I'm kind of doubtful, but. We'll see. Anyone taking bets?
Yeah, I wonder how the detection works for that DLL. If it's like a simple hash, or if it's more heuristics.
Hmm. Don't know, but you know,
We
you
don't
could
have an
host
error
this one.
yet.
You could host the DLL on the Bash Bunny, and this net use could be / 172.16.42 or sorry 64.1.
Oh shit!
Hey, ha! Look at that.
Yes. Who am I?
Anti-authority system. I mean, I did have to get,
Yeah.
I had to disable.
I
Windows
think
Defender.
there is a couple of
Hang on a
payloads
second.
actually for like ANSI bypasses. I haven't
So
tried
that
any of them
means
though.
refresh.
I think it just popped a
It just popped a
command.
shell.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is just a demo. this isn't actually going to add the user. But I mean, now that we're here,
You can do whatever
honestly,
you
this
want
could be
now.
a Bash Bunny payload that stage 1 would be to disable Windows Defender. Stage 2 would be to, install the print driver, and that would host it locally. So spin up a Samba server on the Bash Bunny instead of using Gentle Kiwi. And then the third thing would be, wait for this pop-up and then, add a user. Or whatever you want. This box is owned. What shall we do to this box? You know what we're going to do?
I don't even know any kind of
We're
fun.
going to do color A.
Oh, we're hacking?
/. We're hacking.
I didn't know we were going to hack it, Darren.
Oh, yeah, we're hacked it right now. Look at all that hacking happening. Yeah. That machine's never been so hacked.
Oh, you froze? Did we run out of files?
What?
Oh, there we go.
It
froze for a second.
It's an SSD, but
Yeah.
sometimes it has to spin. Yeah, I did forget the loop.
This reminds me of I don't know who streams them. Someone on Twitch. He streams those. You know how they're scam call centers that try and get you to like run. They want to take over your desktop,
Totally.
steal all your stuff, and he like leads them into a virtual machine and basically just messes with them, right? And one of the number one tricks that these scammers do is like, I'm going to run some system diagnostics, and they do exactly what you just did. It's like, I'm just going to run tree. Got like a virus scam.
That's hilarious. I mean, I love the tree command. What makes me sad is that, oh gosh. Nope, no tree on Mac.
I keep telling you to.
It's got find, so I could do it with that, but it's not the same.
If you do apt install tree, you should. You should be able to get
have
it.
apt, dude.
It doesn't.
No, it's got brew. Apt, come on.
Brew.
Yeah, I've got whatever is Mac ports or whatever.
Yeah.
Yep. I don't know if I can actually do this on a stream and think at the same time. I might have to do this offline. Because I'm just realizing, like, brain's a little fried. Like, trying to juggle to both stream and update documentation. And I don't think those things are, like, sexy together. But that's the thing we're going to say. No binaries, no spaces in the file names, no external resources. Although this would be a perfect example of, so that no external resources, we're going to have to like really qualify that, okay? Because if had Gentle Kiwi submitted a payload to
Well,
the Bash
that-
Bunny
so
repo,
that-
I would
that's
totally
the-
take it.
There's the exception rather than the rule, right? If it's like, I want to use Mimikatz, that's a little bit different than here's my own exe that I made myself and I'm not willing to tell you what it does.
Sure,
kind
but
of
if it's
thing.
like grabbing some PowerShell off Pastebin, it's like, well, the Pastebin URL is not going to change.
No, you should. It could.
You should
It could
include it.
expire.
I mean, best
but you
practice
include
is
it in
why
your PR.
hit the internet when you don't need to? Just include the damn PowerShell script in your payload. Spin up a web server on the Bash Bunny. It's super freaking simple. It's, what is it? Python TACM simple HTTP server port number.
Yeah, in Python 3, it's SHA. HTTP.server and then a port.
Yep. That's the way to do it. Hey, have you seen the new episode?
I don't think so.
You've seen YouTube/Hak5? Video out.
Ah, nice.
Yeah.
Natlus
Planning a
is
continuous
very cool.
planning a continuous recon platform on DevHack, and you guys are like, wait, what's DevHack?
Back in a project we started, decided maybe it was just best to start over. Not me.
Yeah.
I write perfect code every time, except maybe this one time. Hello and welcome to Dead Hack. I'm your host, Dave.
I'll let you guys watch
Ruby
that.
on Nails is a very, very good name.
Yes.
I've only just seen it. That's a
Ruby on Nails is
that's nice.
fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah. He
I love
shot
that.
this with the old Wirecast setup that they were using, but I really do think that they'd be shooting with this because this is just so much sexier, you know?
Yeah.
But
Cool.
fun stuff. Yeah, that's what I'm going to leave you guys with on the stream now that we've made it to noon. That was a fun 3 hours. We checked out some payloads. We owned a Windows box. We started updating a README-MD. We learned a little bit about the intricacies of the Wi-Fi Pineapple Mark 7 API. And we have encouraged our very own Koala to port some modules. Oh, yeah. And I think he got a reward, which means confetti.
Yeah. I'm waiting for those PRs, Koala. If I don't see them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm going to be on Discord a little later today. In the meantime, I'm going to grab breakfast, another coffee, and finish this README-MD. So, yeah, Payload Heroes hitting the leaderboard soon as we work our way through the backlog of pull requests. I'm now settled in an apartment while the van gets rebuilt, and yeah, so sad about that transmission, and so happy it's still under warranty. Yeah.
Have you told them about the frame?
Oh no, I haven't told the dealership about it. If the dealership knew what I did to the van, they probably wouldn't warranty it anymore.
Yeah, I remember a Slack message, and it was more or less, "Oh yeah, I was just driving, and now the whole van wobbles." So, I'm pretty sure that's
I
not
may
how you're
have
supposed to drive a whole
taken
van.
it down a boulder and into another boulder and through a boulder, and dear God, dude, there was a moment there where I was so terrified that I was literally going to be stuck in the middle of nowhere with no cell service, like miles and miles from any civilization outside of Death Valley. And I was like, huh, that's like the moment you're like, maybe I should rethink some of these like paths. Yeah.
Yeah, that'd suck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Well, this has been fun. You should
Yeah.
do it again.
It was. To answer my secure gift, when is the Pineapple Enterprise coming? They're being manufactured right now. I wish I could give you a more specific timeline, but at least some are being manufactured because we got chips. And that's an exciting thing to say. It's like, what? You can make the thing? It's like, oh my God, some chips came. You know, soon enough we'll be able to make coconuts, whatever that is. Anyway.
I thought we only need paper for boxes.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Well.
The shortage is
I'll catch you later, dude.
torture. Yeah, dude. I will see you in Discord, and I'll catch you tomorrow at the new time anyway.
Cool. All right. Have a good day, man.
All right, guys. This has all been fun. See you on the internet. Cheers.